Good morning, everyone on YouTube. Hopefully, it's Monday. Everybody has a good work day today. I'm going back to work after this winter weather crap. I am doing some reviews. These aren't going to be very long because what I'm doing is just going to be showing the DVD case and then kind of talking about the movies. And so that's going to be pretty much my review. Starting off, this is going to be the review of the Showa series of Godzilla. Included will be standalone Rodan and Mothra movies. Now, I don't actually have standalone DVD cases for Mothra. She's in a collection with a bunch of other movies, so you'll kind of see the back of that and stuff. I'm going to start off with Volume 1 of my Godzilla collection. I've misplaced my Godzilla Raids Again DVD somewhere. Gotta dig underneath my bed because I may have put it into another container and it may have been in with that. Volume 1 is this. We'll start off with Godzilla. There's actually two versions of that. Godzilla King of the Monsters with Raymond Burr added in. I'd have to say the studio that did that, which would be was licensed to, I think, well, this is licensed to Classic Media, but that was really good how they put Raymond Burr in. It really did run. He narrated the whole thing. And what was great about Raymond Burr is that he later came back for Godzilla Returns, or as they called the import, Godzilla 1984, or 1985, depending upon the region where that movie was probably released in the theaters. In what area you were in, region-wise. What I'm going to talk about is both of those movies, and then I'm going to move on to Godzilla Raids Again. We added and we took stuff out because at the time the Japanese were very anti-American. We'd bombed them, so of course they were very angry about that, and they kind of show that in the Godzilla movies, I think. Godzilla's pretty much the scapegoat for the atomic bomb, the H-bomb that we dropped on them in Hiroshima. But the great thing is that I have two versions of this, and in Gojira there is more information, I would say visually, because you find out the relationship between the lady and Dr. Serizawa and the diver, and you find out that she's really in love with the diver, which of course in the American version Raymond Burr narrates that. Emiko, I believe is what they call her in the American version, and Emiko wasn't really in love with Dr. Serizawa. Now, the great thing is it really dramatizes how everybody feels in Gojira. Very, very gritty, very dark and gritty, not in humor, but, of course, it was really good for its time. It's withstood the time of test. And then we move on to Godzilla Raids Again, which also had two different titles. I think it was Godzilla Raids Again and Gigantus the Fire Monster. This is because the producer, the guy that was translating the movie into English, he did not want to use Godzilla. He wanted to use something different, and he did. So the American version has Gigantus the Fire Monster. And the Godzilla suit now was really awesome, I thought. They had made so much money off the first movie that they went ahead and made this sequel. which, was pretty good. And, of course, then later on you get Godzilla vs. Mothra, which was great because they introduced two twin Mothra larvae that hatch, and the girls try to get their creature back for the island, which doesn't happen, and they have to sing in order for them to hatch. But that was pretty good. Then next on our list we have Godzilla's blah blah blah. Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, which is also pronounced King Ghidorah. And we have two different versions of that, which I thought is very informative. That we call her, she's from Mars in our version, and we cut a lot of stuff out, of course. And then in the Japanese version, they call her a Venetian from Venus. So there's two different takes on that, but it was very well done. Godzilla and Rodan eventually work together with Mothra to defeat Ghidorah. And then Ghidorah comes back in the invasion of Astro Monster, which is also titled Monster Zero in the US. Both are very good. Adam West stars in both of them. And All Monsters Attack is probably about the worst movie anybody could watch. I mean, it has a lot of stock footage from Monster Island, and you get your kind of like your first look. Well, not your first look, because if you watch Son of Godzilla, you get your first look at Manila, which is actually Godzilla's son. But in All Monsters Attack, which is also known as Godzilla's Revenge, it generally, there's a moral there. It kind of teaches kids to stand up to bullies, and pretty much do morally, right things. There's a lot of stock footage in it from Monster Island, and it pretty much showcases Manila doesn't want to be as bad as his dad. And unfortunately, he gets bullied, same as the kid, by Gabra. Gabra was really well done, but his laugh really could get onto you. But I really thought, for only having one showing in Godzilla's Revenge, that Gabra really did have a unique design. I wish they'd have done more with him. He would have been great to have done more with. And then there is a movie on here I can't talk about unless I talk about Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, which was very well done, because in this one you get almost like a ripoff from the Planet of the Apes, and you get King Caesar, who we've never seen before, and you get 74 Mechagodzilla. Okay, well, after Godzilla basically defeats Mecha G with the help of King Caesar, then comes along Terror of Mechagodzilla, and this time the aliens have a different look. They don't even look ape-like anymore, because they don't even look like they're from the black hole. So these guys come back, they rebuild Mecha G, and then they team up with their professor that's really mad that people didn't take him seriously about Titanosaurus. And he has a girl that suffered, and these aliens came in and saved his daughter for him and made her a cyborg. So she's part machine, so she can control Titanosaurus. And they team up with these guys from the black hole, and they decide they're going to destroy Earth again. And the Japanese scientists have to figure out a way to defeat Titanosaurus while Godzilla comes in, basically gets his butt handed to him by these two guys. And when the scientists find out that Titanosaurus is pretty much has a weakness to sonic waves, they do that. The only thing really annoying on that movie is Titanosaurus's roar. I mean, I had to lower down the volume because it got on my nerves so bad. And I remember watching this on VHS, and I didn't think that, his roar was that bad, but boy, I mean, it can get annoying. But Titanosaurus, again, only made one appearance. They never brought him back after the guys defeated him, You would think from the Showa series that Titanosaurus, that the sonic wave thing that they implemented on the dinosaur would deteriorate eventually and fall off later on, but they never brought him back. So that's the end of those. Now we get into Rodan, and this is Rodan's standalone movie. It introduces you to Rodan before he became sometimes a villain to Godzilla or a helpmate to Godzilla, because sometimes they were allies and sometimes they weren't. Rodan also appears in Monster Zero, helping Godzilla to defeat King Ghidorah. And Rodan, you get Rodan in here, and you also get the Meganulons, which show that Rodan actually preyed on the Meganulons when they were in caterpillar format. Or something like that, or beetle format, which later on you find out are the big dragonflies that Godzilla has to defeat in the Millennium series with Megaguirus as their queen. This is good because it shows they also destroy the two Rodans. So you have to wonder how the heck Rodan came back from being killed, because they never explained that in the Godzilla series. They just moved him on and brought him into the Godzilla series after his movie. And now, here's my sci-fi creature collection. On the back we have Mothra. And Mothra here is pretty much a standalone movie, and they did really well for this. I really liked this. I thought it was really well done. The Mysterians. Okay. The Mysterians is really good. Now, if you guys remember Mulgira from NES, this guy is in this movie, okay? And I swear to you that the Mulgira in not that one. Which one is it? Okay, the Mulgira in Space Godzilla is ripped off from the Mysterians, okay? Because they upgraded him. He can still split in two. He still has the blade in the back, and I'm telling you, it's a rip off from Mysterians. And we also have something here too. I want to point out, if you see the little spaceship in the left-hand corner right here, they reused that in Godzilla vs. King Kong as a communication satellite. Now, isn't that hilarious? So anyway, and right here you can see the little blade thing in the back of Mulgira. Well, they keep that up with the updated version of Mulgira in Space Godzilla. And I just wanted to give you guys a head up on that. So anyway, that completes, for this video, that completes the Showa collection. I still have more from the Showa collection to discuss with you. But I'm running out of time, and pretty soon my alarm's going to go off work, and I kind of need to eat breakfast and things like that. So this will be uploaded today. So I will see you guys all again, and I will be doing another video off of the Showa collection. And then once that's done, we'll do the Gamera Showa collection with their 90, with their Heisei series. And then we'll get into the Godzilla Heisei series, and then from there we'll move on into the Millennium series. So, well, that's it, guys. I will talk to you guys more.